Hey everybody, it's Cassie with 43 Fitness, a cure for the common mom. And I am doing a video blog post, A, because I haven't had hardly any blog content in a long time, and B, I actually realized I have something really important to talk to you guys about. So those of you who know me, been with me 6, 7-ish years since I started my journey, became a certified personal trainer and health coach and nutrition specialist. Thanks for being here. I couldn't be where I am without you guys and without your love and support all this time. I'm still hearing from people from ages ago when I first started, and 43 Fitness was nothing just a blog, just a personal documented journey of what I was going through and how I did it. Those of you who don't know me, I'm based out of Fort Collins, Colorado. I am an independent trainer, so I work out of a small facility that I share with a couple of other practitioners, a physical therapist and a yoga studio actually, and then a few other trainers. So I've found an amazing space that we moved into this last fall, and that's been really pivotal in making everyone comfortable and secure, and we've got all this great equipment that we can use, and so really excited about that. Still doing online training and kind of jump-starting the online classes again. So I think you'll see more information about that in the future in the next couple weeks to a month or so. So stay tuned for that, all right? So today what I'm here to talk to you about is becoming bulletproof. I've got a couple of clients who are transitioning away from me, where they've been coming in 2, 3, in some cases 5 times a week for personal training, one-on-one in the gym, and they're moving off into their own environment, which is always my goal for you guys, is to teach you as much as I can so that you've got great information and skill set to move off and start doing your own thing on your own time. So I didn't realize that I'd never talked about this before, but in my conversations this week and trying to get them prepared, I realized that I never talked about where I came from and how I got to be what I call bulletproof in the gym, which just means you're there to do your thing and really try hard to not feel judged and not project your own insecurities onto other people, which is what I used to really have a problem with, but have pretty much overcome at this point. So when we first moved here 10 years ago, I didn't join a gym right away. I was out of shape. I was not feeling great. Just wanted to get settled into the community. Moving's a big deal, especially move from an entirely different state where you really don't know anybody. We knew one family, but we didn't have any family here or other friends, so it takes some time to get settled in. And about a year later, we joined the gym that was nearest our house and basically right next door to my daughter's daycare, which is nice. She was only 4 when we moved here, which is hard to believe. So joined the gym there. And going into that gym was really tough because in the past, I had owned my previous gym that was across the street from my house before my daughter came along. Because I was there, I was a fixture. I was there in the evenings because I was working full-time in technology back then. But I knew the place, I was comfortable in the place, and I did really well there. I lifted weights for 10 years prior to going on this journey, so I was very comfortable. But we moved here and I'd gotten out of shape since then. And so it was a really different landscape for me. And I was not able to wear my regular workout clothes, so I was wearing my husband's workout clothes. Now, my husband is not a big man, for those of you who know him, but he's still, big enough where his clothes were a little baggy and, movable for me. And so I wore those. Didn't feel great doing it at all, which certainly didn't help things. But when you've been in a place where you feel really comfortable and then you're feeling like you're not worthy and not really shouldn't be in a place, that's a really hard thing to deal with. And I think some people feel that way. It's like, well, I'm in here with all these people who know what they're doing, and a lot of them are in shape. Well, guess why they're in shape? It's because they've been there and they've been going there for a long time. But it's really easy to project their judgment onto you, especially if somebody looks at you in a weird way or they look past you when you try to smile at them, or they're just, having an off time and are kind of unaware of you. And, I had a couple of instances of that where, I thought, oh, well, maybe if I go in and be extra friendly and smiley to people, then maybe I'll feel better about myself. Well, not everybody was, I was going at busier times of the day when people are there to get in and get out. They didn't have time to talk to me. They didn't necessarily want to talk to me. They were in doing their thing. There was this one lady, I eyeballed her from clear across the gym and watched her kind of come in and out and back and forth through my path. And then finally, she was going to cross my path. And I was like, oh, she looks like someone like me, like I could smile at and, maybe boost my confidence and boost her confidence. And I turned down the brightest smile I had and tried to, greet her in my little, kind of introverted way. And she just gives me this look like, who are you and what are you doing? And I guess I was just beaming at her, and she's like, I don't know you. So she just kind of breezed past me with this weird look on her face. I was like, wow, okay, that was deflating. That was not what I was going for. So over time, I realized that I cannot put my dependence on how I feel about myself into other people. And that goes with fitness and health in general, lifestyle, life in general, everything. You've got to create your own space. You have to create your own comfort level to make these things happen. And so little by little, I learned to do that. And the way I became bulletproof in the gym was to be, kind of mimic sort of those people. I would put on my attitude before I walked into the gym that I was there to do a workout. I was there to take care of myself and do what I needed to do, get in and get out. And at that point, I decided I'm not looking for community. I just need to get this thing the hell done because I don't want to do it. I feel miserable when I'm there and I just have to get past it. So my way of doing that was just to laser focus on each activity as I went through it. So getting through the front doors and getting to the desk. For me, it was like laser focus. It's like when you're watching a movie and then they zoom in on something. Everything else becomes a peripheral blur. So for me, I wasn't talking to people coming in, wasn't talking to people going out. I was putting my thumbprint in, greeting the person at the desk, getting to the locker room. Getting to the locker room, tons of activity, lots of, opportunity for community, to get rejected, to feel judged, to not feel judged, to, have friendships, build friendships. Wasn't there for that. So got to my locker, got all my stuff in, locked up, ready to go. And then before going on the floor, the key element for me was to get bulletproof in the locker room so that when I stepped onto that gym floor, I felt empowered. And I really, really get a lot of jive and mojo out of my music. And for those of you guys who follow Instagram, every now and then I'll put on some songs that are very inspirational to me. So I'm kind of a metalhead. And I love that. It pumps me up. It's high energy. And it just makes me feel really confident about myself. And so what I decided to do, because I've seen people do this, but I never felt I was worthy of the headphones for a long time. But they really do provide not only a metaphorical attitude barrier and a kind of enclosure or safe space, but also a physical barrier. There's something about having this big headband and ear covers covering, most of your head that says to people, hey, I'm here, I'm serious, and I don't want to be interrupted right now. You can wear earbuds and, sometimes get an effect, but generally if you're not making eye contact, if you're moving through your moves and you're not looking around, having those on to me just feels like I'm in a safe little bubble. It's the weirdest thing. Nowadays, I do it when I'm just there to get done, if I'm having a good day, bad day, otherwise. It really works for me. So it's something that I want you to look into. I want you, if music speaks to you, and I really think that the majority of people do. I don't care if it's, flamenco guitar, if it's disco, if it's metal, if it's rap, whatever that is, make it very personal. Build a playlist, get that all ready. I had a couple of songs that when I was trying to do some goals, like try to do military push-ups and trying to do unassisted pull-ups, that I would skip to immediately on my iPod back then. How old does that sound? That I would use just for those moves, just to get myself pumped up and ready to go. And then when you're out on the floor, as you feel more comfortable, then you can start making eye contact. You can, pull one of your earbuds out or the headphone off and make conversation. But don't feel like you have to do that. If someone smiles at you, that's great if you want to smile back. If you don't want to smile back, that's okay too. You can look past them. Hopefully they're not going to take it personally, and you shouldn't take it personally either. You're not there to owe anybody anything, and no one else is there to owe you anything either. You're just sharing a communal space because you're trying to save some money and not build an entire gym in your house. So keep that in mind as you're going. Get yourself bulletproofed, however that looks for you. Talk to yourself in the car. I talk to myself a lot in the car when I'm about to do something that's really hard or stressful or gives me anxiety, so I can kind of walk through the steps of how this is going to go. When I was out on the floor and trying new machines, didn't know what the hell I was doing, I talked to myself a lot. And you know what? If you were standing near me and I had my headphones on really loud and I'm talking to myself, I'm sure you heard me. And you're like, what is this woman doing? She's like rambling to herself. And I'd be like, oh my God, I don't know what to do with these plates. And, it's too heavy and I'm freaking out. But that's okay. Now I'm just a clown in the gym. I do whatever, suits my fancy if I'm trying something new. But that's because I've built that up over 6, 7 years of time of being there. So give yourself some time to get settled into this. And I promise you, one day you will feel like you own that space, okay? So if you have tips, if you have tricks, if things you do to get prepped to go, especially if you're feeling anxiety, if you're trying to get back into a groove, comment here and let everyone know so they can take advantage of that too. I think it's worth it to have a discussion because it's not just my point of view that works for people. We need to, gather information from all different perspectives of people. And I think that's going to help us out in the end. All right? So thanks for watching, and I will see you guys next time.